Good morning, everybody. This is Willem, and welcome to the first day of school in our area. So today is the very first day of school for the kids, and CeCe is in a bad shape. That's all I can say. Here she is. She's wearing glasses, and she is. Hey, babe, you wanna say hi to your people?
Hey guys, it's really hard for me today. It's hard. It is really hard today. I miss them.
She misses them, and rightfully so. I can understand. For the last year and a half, maybe a little bit over a half, she'd been home with the kids. I'm talking about
2019.
every minute, every second. I mean, they were together, and now we just have to drop them off at the school, and I'm sure they're having fun, because I could tell the little one yesterday when we went to go do the meet the teacher, she was ready to go. The older one yesterday made a comment and says, I can't wait for yesterday to be over so she could be in school this morning. So for the kids, it's a joyful moment. They get to go back and be with their friends and enjoy the day. For the parents, it's like this. So what makes it the hardest for you?
Hearing them calling me and, them not being home this morning. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. And I don't know.
She's speechless.
I just
See,
miss
me?
my babies.
On the other hand, I'm usually already out. I happened to be here this morning. Well, part of it, we had to drop the kids to school. Second, I had to get a company here to do some mold testing for me. Still dealing with that leaked house issue. But yeah, for me, it's not much different, because I've been doing the thing that I do. I leave in the morning, I come back home. But for CeCe, it's a completely different thing. Although the kids are going to be out for just 6 hours today.
Baby, you said for just 6 hours?
To me, it seems just 6 hours. For her,
it's a long time.
it's eternity.
6 hours is a long time. I don't know how I'm going to plan my day. Although I do have my planning already set up since last weekend. But based on how I'm feeling right now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tackle all my tasks. Because it's tough. I mean, yesterday they were like, I can't wait for today. And I'm like, I can't. Can we just have one more week? Can we just have like one more month? And it's hard, especially with the little one, waving goodbye. Yeah.
So it's a real thing.
It's very
And that's what could be stressful on parents. I know when it comes to this COVID-19 thing, we think, safety and wearing masks and keeping our distances. However, there's some other issues that come out of it. Sometimes it's anxiety, emotional stress. Obviously, Sister's feeling stressed right now. I'm lucky enough that the bond that she created with the kids, I didn't get to create that, although I've hung out with them and so forth. But I didn't spend every hour of the day with the kids.
I feel like it's like, first day back, first day in school, like when they little and you drop them off to daycare and they crying and you crying, but I feel like this time
They didn't cry.
it's me who's crying and not them. I mean, the cutest thing was when the oldest one holds the little one's hand and they're walking together. I think that's when it really got me.
But to me, I see it as a joyful moment. Because the little one she's going in the first grade. She did kindergarten virtual. Although she was at the school for pre-K, but she's been out of the campus for about a year and a half. So I was afraid that she doesn't remember where all the hallways are, and the schools are complicated. They have different halls with different colors. And so the older one said, don't worry about it. I got it. I'm going to take my sister to class. And she did go to the class yesterday, remembered the room number, which we checked with them this morning. They remember the room number and the color of the hall that they'll be going in. So the older one took charge and says, don't worry, because typically on the first day, we get to walk the kids to class.
They should have let the parents walk the kids to class.
That's COVID.
Maybe, how about do different group of parents dropping them off? Do like they did yesterday, A through H. you go with the kids and take pictures the first day of school, it's the memories, right? Because last year we didn't get that chance to do that with them. Last year they were virtual. All the kids were virtual. The parents didn't have a chance to do this first grade or kindergarten pictures with the kids. Why not do it? Let the group of parents come one at a time. Like I think this would have been very helpful because the first time being back since COVID, the parents' joyful moment is to have a picture of, although we do take pictures of the kids every year, but that would have made me feel better.
I don't know.
I think it would have made me feel better. I really
You
think
probably
it.
would have, but the more
But I'm upset.
the more you've gotten involved, and I could have, you probably would have started breaking down right in the
I
right
think
in the
you're right.
classroom.
I think you're right. I would have.
So
I think you're right.
so listen,
I actually started
It's,
breaking down when we were at the school.
yeah, I know. She had her glasses around just to make sure that when she starts breaking
Because
down,
I knew
people don't see it.
this was gonna happen.
But hey, it's a joyful moment. I think it's a good thing for the kids. However, we we're aware of the risks that comes in. More kids have been hospitalized with this variant of the virus, whatever they call it now. So we give our kids a good pep talk on taking precautions, their masks, they have extra sanitizers. We made sure we went in the class, the desks are separated. Now the little one's desk was not as far apart like the older one's
They
class.
were in a group.
So we're trying to find out if they would rearrange the desk. So we know the risk that's involved. However, I think it's a good thing for the kids that get to interact with other kids.
Well, this morning when I went to wake the girls up, and I told Bree that she's not going back to the school. They changed the curriculum. Everything changed now. It's gonna be virtual, and she was crying. She literally got on the floor. I was like, "No, mommy, that's not true." And I was like, "Really? You don't want to be home with me?" She was not too happy. The fact that I said she will be, they changed the system now. Everybody's going virtual. So
Listen, the kids hung out with us
I
at
think-
home and did the virtual thing because they had no choice.
with us, even with me.
The kids hung out with CeCe and did the virtual thing because they had no choice. But kids wants to be around kids,
I know.
and this is where, as we get concerned about this pandemic, we have to make sure that we keep in mind, for kids' development, they have to interact with other
I
kids,
just want them to be safe. That's all.
and they will be safe. There will be safe. Obviously, we pray and ask God to look over them. We make sure that they have what they need to sanitize, wipe. We've ordered extra masks to make sure that they have backups in their bags. So all the things we need to do, we've done, aside from keeping them home. I don't think it makes sense to keep them home long term. However, if they happen to change things and we have to keep them home, we'll keep them home. But if we can get them in school and we feel safe enough, get them to school. Believe me, at the end of the day, when CeCe picks them up, she'll feel different. She'll realize how joyful the kids have been. And if I could do a follow up to this vlog, I will do so, just to kind of like give you guys the after the pickup moment.
I mean, I truly feel like when it comes to 1:30, my mood will definitely change.
It has to.
Right.
You're just trying to get your emotions right now. You're feeling that detachment. Your kids are out of your hands. They've always been you've been their protector. You've been their person for the last year and a half, and now the power that you had, you've given it to someone else to take care of your children for you.
Yeah.
And many parents may be feeling this way. I'm lucky that I'm not, but then again, the experience that CeCe had with the kids, I didn't. But many parents, I know. I had one of my coworkers was telling me that when his son was getting ready to go back to school, way earlier last year, and initially they were concerned about the son, but eventually they realized that he should be more concerned about his wife, because that took an emotional toll on the spouse who was with the kids. just as much as it does the kids. In fact, the kids dealt with the going back a lot easier than the parent. And obviously, today is our turn. So I'm smiling for CeCe.
Yeah, please do. I'm probably gonna get in my bed, and get under the blanket and watch something that's gonna get my mind off.
And the worst thing is, in about 5 minutes, I have to leave the house. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate, but she's going to be home, and I would stay home and keep her company, but unfortunately, I have to be in my office. So
I'm gonna have to block my schedule today for my class.
So you know what?
Because I won't be able to talk to anyone.
You'll be better.
I
She'll be better.
Yeah. I'll be better after 2:00 when I see them.
If I can do a follow up, I'll let you know what happened later. All right. So if you're dealing with the same thing as far as dropping your kids off, or depends on when you're seeing this, maybe you've gotten over it already. Understand that it's okay to feel this way. We love our children.
I love my daughters.
And we want to be there for them whenever we can.
For the rest of my
I know
life.
many of us have left our jobs. We've
changed careers.
We've changed careers just so we can be with our kids. And as parents, I think it's important that we understand the importance of doing these things for our children. Listen, we make the decisions for our kids. They're not at the age where they can, but as long as we know that we're making the best decisions for them, no matter how emotional it gets, we'll deal with it. Right?
I don't know about that.
She'll deal with it.
Yeah, I'll deal with it.
As promised, I said I was going to give you guys an update. It is now the afternoon of the day, and CeCe's picked up the kids already. And as I thought, she's a lot better than she was this morning. I got her some Starbucks, so maybe that's part of it. How you feeling?
I'm feeling a lot better.
You got the kids?
Yes, I'm feeling a lot better. You should have seen me when I got the kids.
How was the rest of the day after I left for work?
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was like the longest 6 hours of my life. It was horrible. And I was crying. I spoke to my mom. My mom called me. My dad called me. And I spoke to my brother.
Her.
Since it was my brother's birthday too. And in the morning, I spoke to my brother. And the first person that texted me was Eve. Like, how you doing? And I'm like, all the emojis crying, sobbing. It was tough. It was really hard. Your mom called me later in the evening. Everybody's like, let me check on CeCe and see how she's going. But I'm doing so much better after seeing them. I hugged them.
And you know, funny enough, the kids had a great day. Because when I called them after they had gotten picked up and asked, girls, how was your day? They were like, it was great.
Yes.
I know it's tough, but
it was
it's a good thing.
It was hard.
It's a good thing that the kids got back to school.
I know. It was a good thing they got back to school on campus, right? They got excited to see their friends, but I wasn't excited to send them over there, to send them out in this world, the crazy coronavirus world.
But they did what they had to do. I mean, they have their mask on. The desks are spread apart in the classrooms, and teachers are wearing masks. I think they mentioned there's a couple of kids at the school that weren't wearing the mask. And obviously, parents have the choice to opt out of the mask.
Right.
That's one of the options they have here. But overall, I think it was a great first day. Well, you've gotten over yourself.
Baby.
She's gotten over herself. So it was a great first day.
Yeah, talk for yourself. It was okay for me. Tomorrow will be better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It has to. I mean, what, you're gonna spend the whole week sobbing over?
I mean, I'm just saying tomorrow will be better.
Well, it has to be better.
Because it was hard. Okay.
Well, here's a good thing. Tomorrow, I'm the one dropping the kids off, so she will not be there to see them walk away.
Yes.
So.
Yes, that's true. Because when we dropped them off this morning, it was tough for me. Not only because, they've been home with me for like almost 2 years, 24/7. But seeing them walking to class together, that kind of make it more emotional for me. And I'm like, oh, my babies.
See, here I was thinking, man, I'm glad my girls could take care of themselves, because the older one says, don't worry, I'm going to take the little one to her class, which she did. So I'm like, hey, they got it.
Yes, she did. They got it. And when they got home, but let me tell you guys, the line was like ridiculous, okay? The line was so long that I left the house at 1:15 thinking that, okay, it only take me 5 minutes to get to the school. The school is like literally like, right? Less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, just about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got there. It was just like insane.
Yeah, well, it's the first week
Mine-
of school. Parents, I don't think parents are letting the kids ride the bus yet. Many parents are dropping their kids off, and I think that's probably gonna happen for the rest of the week.
You know, I was telling my husband, I cannot believe I left the house so early, and yet still got there. And the line was just around the building. And I'm like, should I leave the house at 12 o'clock? You know? But
Or you can leave the house after the release time. You get there at 2:10, 2:15,
No,
you won't have to deal with this
no.
many cars. Or 2:30. I think the school will hold your kids until
why do I
after
want my
2:30.
kids to be the one laying around or
No.
lingering around and mommy's like home? No.
But does it make sense to go and sit in the car line
But I'll
for
get there
an
at
hour?
1. I know what I learned this afternoon, okay? When I got there, I left the house at 1:15. I'm going to leave the house tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
I'll be at
Right.
work.
What I'm going to do is, so for those of you parents who have to pick up your kids early, bring a laptop, bring something that
You can do while you wait. Because
Right.
it's a whole hour.
it's
So
right. And the cars don't move until like 1:30, 1:45. You know, and I was like, man, I'm glad I brought my laptop with me. I'm glad I brought my backpack because I have a backpack that I just grab and go that has all my office supplies. Like, what do you call this again? A portable office that I carry with me.
Well, yes. If you
so-
can make good use of that hour, it makes sense.
Or
But
30 minutes.
and I think it's only going to be for the first week, I think.
Well,
the
we'll see how it's
call
going to go tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure, like we said earlier, it's going to be jam-packed for the rest of the week. But I'm sure next week it may be a lot easier, because I know for me, I'm going to be a lot better next week. And I was telling my husband that, yes, I'm going to be a lot better next week. I'm going to be a lot better next week.
You have to be.
So, and I was telling my husband that, hey, this week is going to be like a very tough week trying to like get my schedule together with work and, you know, my clients, because I was dealing with the kids. Let me just let this week go, and then next week I'll just like, you know, plan for the week for like a better week, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a little bit crazy for me. Me not feeling all right, crying over the kids at the school and trying to figure out how I'm going to plan my day was a little bit like overwhelmed for me. So yes. So I will now have an idea of how I'm going to plan next week.
So, this is it. She was a little bit rough in the morning.
It was tough.
Now she's better. And life goes on.
Yes.
So if there's any of you guys who are having a tough time,
And I got my Starbucks.
yeah, I think
Life-
people who drink Starbucks sometimes have issues. Starbucks had a few things now, and I think it's due to COVID. So there's certain ingredients they don't have, like you find the hazelnut syrup. I think a lot of people drink that stuff. So
Which is such a good flavor.
Starbucks have ran out of it. So in the drinks that she normally gets, has that on there. Now, although
It's so good.
I picked this up today, they didn't have the hazelnut. I had to
No?
get
The mocha?
a replacement coffee nut. I think that's what they call it.
That's close.
But yeah, over the weekend, I had to drive to 4 different Starbucks
I'm sorry, babe.
looking for that drink. So I don't have that time.
Listen, it's something that I really enjoy. I love this on the weekend. I don't ask for this every day.
See, I'm not a coffee drinker. So,
I am.
And I'm not a Starbucks going person. I only go to Starbucks because of her.
See? he
So
was
when
going.
I have to drive this many stores trying to get one drink, I got exhausted. When I got to the 4th one, I said, you know what? Whatever they have, I'm going to get it. And I got something. Today on my way home, I stopped by and grabbed this one. Now they had even the coffee nut. Most of the Starbucks don't have it, but this one's inside of a Target. I guess not a lot of
Yes.
people goes in because you have to get out of your car. You have to drive to Target.
People are so lazy.
And if you've ever been to Starbucks, the drive-through line is always nuts because people that's how they get their Starbucks. They go to line. So at Target. So if there's anyone who's looking for a special drink, Target most likely will have the hazelnut syrup. If not, they'll have the coffee nut, which is a viable substitute. So, But that's the Starbucks story. But going back to school.
Oh, let me just say before he goes back, it's not the weekend. Like I said, I usually get it on the weekend, but because I had such a bad day this morning, my husband surprised me with this afternoon because he knows this will make me feel better. And of course, this is what I love him for.
Good. So she's better now.
Yes.
She's better now, and she's got her Starbucks.
I
And
got my
tomorrow's a new day.
daughters.
Until then, we'll see you guys.
Bye.